From Cedar Park, Texas, blowing the ears out. Live, it's Timberwolf Night in America. This is the Vype Live Network, and tonight, more non-stop honking of the Cedar Park football horn. I'm the V of the T, voice of the Timberwolves, Brad Cohn. It's our 9th show of the season, 130th show overall, and 9+ seasons spread out over 11 years now. We're live from Alzer's Barbecue near the corner of Cypress Creek Road and Old 183 just behind the CVS there. We'll be here until 9 o'clock. Come on down and join us if you can. With me tonight, as usual, he's the king of Laces Out, the former whiteout, member of our 2010 district championship team and regional finalist. His personality is so magnetic he's unable to carry credit cards. He's the only person ever to ace a Rorschach test. He is 16th in line to the English crown. It's the Donut Hole, our doctor of footballogy. There ain't no bolder holder than the wonderful Willard of Oz, lifetime Timberwolf, Josh Willard.
What's up, boys? The boys are in the house tonight. Thank you so much, Brad, for that wonderful intro. Tuesday night, Timberwolf Night in America. Just got my order in for some Alzer's Barbecue.
No, I had some
for
earlier.
the end of this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and smash that. But the boys are here trying to vibe, especially coming off of a big dub. Let's go.
And Daniel Garrigan, our quality assurance agent tonight, closely and diligently monitoring the broadcast from that super secret, high-tech, low-maintenance, ultra-modern, technically advanced, stealthily cloaked pinnacle of online broadcast technology that is the Vype Studios, making sure we don't sound like your transmission falling onto the freeway at 70 miles an hour. Our guests tonight will be the quarterbacks and their coach, Gilbert Pedraza. That ought to be a lot of fun.
No, we're going to have some fun with the boys in here tonight.
I love the quarterbacks tonight. All right, this year's Booster Club sponsors Covert Ford, Alzer's Barbecue, this place right here, Sewell Land Rover and Jaguar, Mission of Hope, Life Family, Reap Financial, TJ Lewis Real Estate, Raising Cane's, Kathy Tam Photography, Mungia Real Estate, ROI Sport Performance and Physical Therapy, Family Emergency Room at Lakeline, One Stop, Rudy's Barbecue, Army Ant Moving, Majori's, Firehouse Subs, and HEB. And remember their new sponsor, the Family Emergency Room of Lakeline, now providing free athletic clearance physicals for all athletes at Cedar Park High School and Middle School. So get on over there, do that for free if you need to. Now here's what's on the menu for tonight's show. Josh will give our latest state of the program update. We'll have a post-mortem on the win over Hendrickson, a glance at that game's effect on our school record book, a look at other local scores from last week, a walk through the wonderful world of Willard with the Willard of Oz. And then we'll bring on tonight's guests, the quarterbacks. And we'll play one of our traditional trivia games with the guys, plus our new trivia game, Steal Josh's Ice Cream. And we'll wrap it all up with a preview of Glenn. Josh, this win was huge. The offense had been struggling against two straight very good defenses, and a loss here would all but mathematically eliminate us from the playoffs. Coming through when they absolutely had to says a lot about this team.
I mean, everybody knew when you looked at this schedule, a lot of the meat was at the very beginning of it. And so Cedar Park, for them to get off the bus 2 weeks in a row and absolutely smack both college teams in the mouth, college station teams.
Right.
Whoa. Had to get that in there. It was just really impressive. And so you knew that whenever they got this Hendrickson game, that whenever they got home to the GUP, it was an opportunity to really, like set the fireworks off. And that's really what we needed to happen. But defensive struggle there in the beginning. But, I mean, Cedar Park eventually fell through, got some offensive production there at the end of the third in the fourth quarter. And so it's just what the Cedar Park offense needed. Because that was a daunting non-district schedule, and then to start district. So from here on out, you can't overlook anybody by any means, but you need to go out there and execute.
All right, yep, I agree. Now, here's Josh with our State of the Program update.
The all-time record for Cedar Park football now 2-11. What's up? And 82 overall. They're now 111-36 in district games, and the program is now 99-30. At home all time, and 65-8 at the GUP. I'll tell you, my team never lost at the GUP in 2010 when we opened that stadium.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was a fun time. And we hosted a playoff game, too, to LBJ. What a joke that was. They are now 2-1 at home this season after the program's first losing season at home last year, and they have taken 2 games to 1 lead in the all-time series against Hendrickson. How you like them apples?
Those apples taste pretty good. All right, time for the Hendrickson postmortem. The Timberwolves had lost in an upset to Hendrickson last year, 21-16. In the last game, the Hawks would win during a 4-6 season. Last Friday night was payback time. But it sure didn't seem to start out that way. Both teams seemed to move the ball, but couldn't close the deal. Cedar Park at one point had a first and goal at the 5, but came away with 0 points. A 55-yard pick six we had was called back due to offsetting penalties. So instead of potentially leading 14-0 at the break, at halftime it was tied at 0. And that was the first time that has ever happened in a Cedar Park football game. The third quarter saw the scorelessness continue as the Timberwolves entered their 9th consecutive quarter of scoreless football, unfortunately another school record. But at the 3:37 mark, Andrew Gagari came on and knocked through a 43-yard field goal that would have gone from 55. He really slugged that thing and cracked that long goose egg, gives the Timberwolves a 3-0 lead. Hendrickson couldn't answer as the Black Rain put up his 4th straight excellent defensive performance Friday night. And with 9:11 left in the game, a short shovel pass from Aiden Arp to Gavin Chapa resulted in Chapa outrunning everyone up the left sideline for a 50-yard touchdown and a 10-0 lead. But that lead didn't even last 1 minute. On the second play of their next possession, the Hawks found Paydirt on a 65-yard pass from Joseph Rodriguez to unidentified number 9. Hendrickson never gave us a complete roster.
We called him number 1 all night.
Number 9 was their number 1. And the kick narrowed the lead back to 3 at 10-7 with 8:20 to play. Then came a nice, long, clock-chewing drive. Arp led the team down into the red zone, and from the 5, he hit tight end Lucas Wilson with a scoring strike, and Gagari's kick made it 17-7 with just 3:40 to play. But the Black Rain struggled on Hendrickson's ensuing possession, giving up yardage in big chunks until the Hawks were into the red zone themselves, about to score, make the game 17-14 with an onside kick coming. But with just 2:14 left in the game, Case and Cave came up with a pick at the 15, wove through tacklers, then raced up the left side 85 yards to the end zone, turning a potential 3-point game into a 24-7 final. We ran for 3.9 yards per carry, which still needs improvement, but is far better than the previous several games. We also threw for 7.0 yards per attempt average, one of the best figures of the season. Looks to me like the Cedar Park Playoff Express back on track.
Yeah, Cedar Park really came through at the end, and the Black Rain gave you everything that you thought that they would give you. And so to have that offensive production, it just felt good. Tyree found some open lanes and was just, like hitting another gear, but not having to make a man miss right at the line of scrimmage or a yard behind the line of scrimmage. I felt the offensive line did a good job getting a good push, getting to that second level, giving our guys an opportunity, a chance. But again, with this young receiving core, young offense as a whole, I mean, I would love to see these guys get into the mix early because I know that they've been training for this opportunity. And Gavin Chapa, my goodness, when he turned the corner on that reverse shovel pass, I mean, his speed is truly underestimated. And I know we had the receivers in at Timberwolf Night in America the other night, and that's what the coaches said was their thing, that they had to unhitch the trailer. But the guys are getting open in space. And so if they can continue to find a way to get open on routes, that offensive line can give Arp enough time to stand in the pocket, go through that progression, find that open read. I mean, this Cedar Park offense has all the capabilities, to really make a good push right now because, again, it's all about when you get hot. And the Cedar Park offense, so young, and the Black Rain, so veteran, so Black Rain-esque. It is so fun to watch them at work because these 3 down defensive linemen, they're taking up so much space to free up our outside backers. Jackson Fortney, Isaiah King, they had remarkable games last week. And then Case and Cave with the fumble recovery and the interception return for a touchdown. I mean, it was just a great game from all around aspects. And again, we got to give a shout out, Mr. Weems from last week, our punter, Connor Schutte, had a remarkable game at College Station. 12 punts, 487 yards, even in this game as well. Every time Connor's on the field, the punting unit has seemed to have fixed their woes from earlier in the season, and Connor is flipping the field every single time. I mean, that's strategy 101 with the football, and Connor, huge shout out to you as well.
All right, and now a look at the impact this game had on our school record book. A few times this year, including last week, this part of the show has been a mostly unpleasant exercise. Not so this week. There are only a few notations, and most of them are good. We'll start out with the only bad one. We've not had a rushing touchdown now in 3 games, and that is the longest such streak in program history. Case and Cave's 85-yard pick six was the second longest interception return in school history.
85 is what that checked out to be?
Yep. Guess what was The longest.
Oof. Okay. Give me a year.
I'll give you a team. New York Jets.
Oh. Jav Guidry.
Jav Guidry, 87 yards.
Yikes.
Against Alito.
Was that at Baylor? McLean?
Yeah. Right, with his numbers from this game, Aiden Arp enters our list for career total offense at number 26 with 1,292 total yards. In this game, he passed Nathan Thornhill.
Oh, my gosh. Bro, he pitched in only the College World Series. Dog.
Gavin Chapa, Carter Wall, both climbed up the list of all-time receiving yards to 27th and 23rd, respectively. Both of them jumped up 6 spots on that list with their efforts in this game. Lucas Wilson becomes the 91st player to catch a touchdown pass at Cedar Park.
Let's go. Shout out Lucas Wilson. Got one back because he should have had one against Eastview. That felt good.
And this was the first time Cedar Park had ever been shut out at halftime, yet still won the game.
Hey-o.
There you go. And this was our 99th home win ever out of our 3 homes at Old Bible, New Bible, Nagup. So Leander is set up to be number 100.
The Leanderthals set up to be the 100th win. That's just setting up perfectly, boys.
All right, some other scores from the area. Austin Bowie, 49, Buda Johnson, 7. Austin High, 35, Aiken, 7. Lake Travis, 45, Anderson, 21. You know Lake Travis went in that game 3-3?
They're now 4-3. Isn't that remarkable? Drain the lake.
And they're going to play Dripping Springs this week. That might go 4-4.
I'm okay. Hey, I'm here for that.
With that.
I'm here for that.
Vandy 30, Round Rock 22. Round Rock's first loss dropped them a few points in the top 20. Westlake 29, Dripping Springs 10. First real push of Westlake this year. Vista Ridge 39, Stony Point 33. Temple 31, Hutto 7. Cedar Ridge 22, Manor nothing. This used to be the biggest game in the state every year during the district part of the state. Midland Lee 33, Odessa Permian 25. They absolutely hate each other.
You want to win? You put Booby in.
Weiss 38, Bryan 13, Westwood 17, McNeil 15, Seguin 41, Hayes 34, LBJ 70.
Over your school?
Lanier nothing, yeah. Liberty Hill 35, Lockhart 14, Burnett 28, Marble Falls 14, Lampasas 42, Taylor 14, Reagan 69, Eastside Early College nothing, Lago Vista 70, Austin Achieve nothing, Wimberley 63, Manor New Tech nothing, McAllen 55, Austin Lassa 7. And I'm going to segue into a rant here. Now, those last 4 scores are illustrative of a problem. Each of those last 4 losing schools, Eastside Early College, Austin Achieve, Manor New Tech, Austin Lassa, are specialty schools set up for students who want a more specialized curriculum. These schools are for students whose focus is on their academics. Offering athletics programs in such places ends up being a ludicrous self-inflicted regimen of torture. The best athletes are not going into these schools whose sports teams routinely get their clocks cleaned like they did this week. They stay at the regular schools. All of these football teams together have a 7-21 record, and 6 of those 7 wins are against each other. The only regular school to lose one of these teams is Lanier, who's 1-6 with their only win coming over Eastside Early College. None of these players can possibly be enjoying this. They're not being developed as players and are being greatly exposed to injury, mainly being very good students wearing football equipment and getting steamrolled by superior athletes on nearly every play every Friday night. The average enrollment at these 4 schools is only 350. That's 2A-sized, so the so-called talent pool is extremely shallow anyway. If you're a regular school and you agree to play one of these, I'm embarrassed by your insecurity and the lack of confidence in your own program. A game against any of these schools in absolutely no way helps your football team get better. Might as well round up 11 teenagers from the mall and play them. This practice needs to end. These schools need to remember what their reason for existence is, and it's a very good one, but it is not to engage in athletics.
And I think it's, you've seen the turn of events of now. These big colleges are not afraid to schedule these bigger games because that's what puts butts in seats. Like, that's how you learn about your team. You want to have these tough games.
And the good high school programs do that too, like us.
Right. It's just time for everybody to make the switch.
And the category of all our exes coach in Texas, a good week for our ex-coach coaches and players who are now head coaches in Texas high schools. Mount Vernon, Brad Willer's the head coach there, over Raines 77-27. Prosper, who moved up to a rank of 16th in 6A. Brandon Smith's team, they beat McKinney Boyd 49-16. Chris Ross's team, Lucas Lovejoy 49, Crandall 35. Josh Mann's Rouse Raiders 30. Colleen Chaparral nothing. This is their first year. San Antonio Peeper Piper 49. Nick Rogers' team. Cedar Creek 14. That's their second win in their first season. The only team that lost by one of our former coaches, Joe Willis Tyler Legacy team lost to Mesquite Horn 24-16. Carl Absek's Barbers Hill team had the bye, so our guys went 5-1. If you count Michael Quintero as a former coach at Cedar Park, who's now a head coach, 6-1.
Let's go. Just shout out to Nick Rogers and Peeper Piper. That's always a fun one to say. But also my brother getting back on the win track. Just shout out to all the coaches from Cedar Park. It's a wonderful tree, it is.
All right, and here are the scores from the other three District 11-5A games. College Station over Glenn, 27-24 in overtime. That one surprised me a little.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they scored 27 on Glenn. Their offense did. Their offense scored 10 on our defense. Consolidated 39, Leander 15. No big surprise. Georgetown 59, Eastview 19. No big surprise. That makes the District 11-5A standings look like this. College Station and Consolidated on top at 4-0. Glenn and Georgetown are next at 3-1. If they had the playoffs starting now, we'd be shut out. It would be those four teams. We are in fifth at the moment at 2-2. Hendrickson, Leander, Eastview all tied for the cellar at 0-4. Here are the games for the other teams in District 11-5A this week. We know that we're at Bible playing Glenn. College Station 6-1 and 4-0. They are at Georgetown 5-2, 3-1. Who do you got?
It's at Georgetown?
Yeah.
God. I want Georgetown. I just want Georgetown to get buttered up, baby.
I think that's a tough game, but I think College Station's a little bit better team. Now,
I
doesn't necessarily mean they'll win.
Wait, college? Okay, this is not Consolidated.
No, College Station. Fourth ranked team in the state.
See, I think Consolidated is better than College Station. Hand up.
Doesn't look like it.
That's me.
They're not ranked. College Station's ranked fourth.
Oh, are you paying attention to rankings? A grudge match. Throw that crap out the window.
Yeah.
Come on.
That'll be coming up pretty soon, that game. But, yeah, I'll take College Station over Georgetown. Next one is Eastview. They're 0-7, 0-4. They are at Consolidated, 6-1, 4-0. How many touchdowns is Consolidated going to win by?
I'm going over. I'm going it's 28 points.
Yeah, at least. And then Leander, they're 3-4 and 0-4, and on an 0-4 streak. They are at Hendrickson, who's 1-6 and 0-4.
The Battle of the Basement. I'm going to go with Hendrickson.
Yeah, I think so too. They got, I think, more weapons than Leander does. All right, 11-5A results. Here's the results of the next team we're about to play, Glenn. They beat 2-5 San Antonio Peeper Piper 34-10. Again, this was Piper's first season, and that was Piper's first game. They beat 2-5 Victoria West 35-3. They lost to 3-4 Rouse 7-10. At the time, that was Rouse's only victory. In district, they beat 1-6 Hendrickson 38-28. They beat 3-4 Leander 27-14. They beat 0-7 Eastview 31-21. Lost 24-27 in overtime to 6-1 College Station.
That's remarkable. I mean, the teams they should have stomped, they were close, but then they played the great teams close. So
it's hard to figure them out.
It's hard to see. It's like a team you play down to or you play up to. So that's what I'm saying, though. None of these games for our Timberwolves you're able to look over for the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to have a fighting chance, let's go ahead and just stick to Timberwolf football. Control what you can control. Don't worry about the other team. And just implement your game plan, and things surprisingly just work out in our favor. Let's just stick to the script.
All right, now it's off to see the Willard, the wonderful Willard of Oz. Each show this fall near the end of our first half hour here, we turn the reins over to Josh so that the hot air in his balloon can take the show anywhere he wants it to go. Here's another fascinating voyage through the wonderful world of Willard.
I mean, if you got a chance to watch any sports this weekend, just clap it up for yourself. There were so many great sports happening this weekend, and it really started right at 11 a.m. when our boys, how do you like that? Texas coming down to the wire to go ahead and get that win against Iowa State.
Yeah, I'm glad for the win. They didn't look particularly sharp doing it. It's still a young team, still a system they're trying to get the right things with, a freshman quarterback in essence.
Did you see the hit at the end of the game that caused the fumble? Did you think targeting?
No, absolutely not.
I love that. Take it to the grave.
Yeah.
So happy for the Horns.
Shoulder pad hit him, not the helmet.
That's right, baby. Staying alive in the Big 12 for sure. Some other great games throughout the day. Michigan just absolutely implementing the run game against Penn State, against the number 2 run defense in the country. And Michigan had their way, but obviously everybody tuned in for the Alabama-Tennessee game. That was absolutely remarkable. Leading receiver for Tennessee, 5 receptions, 206 yards, 6 receptions, 205 yards, 5 touchdowns.
That's prodigious.
If you started him in fantasy, you won big.
Yeah.
But definitely had some great sound bites from this weekend. Wanted to go ahead and get over to, it was the head coach of the lovely LSU Tigers going on the road against Florida last week, and that was a great game. And the daughter of the head coach gave an unbelievable soundbite. And again, when you're coaching in the SEC, you don't want any bulletin board material.
No.
I just wanted to come on here and say that whoever said Florida fans suck, they were right.
Oh!
And she went on to say a profanity after that.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Coach Kelly, you better put on your southern twang to better get out of this one, because you got to make sure your daughter's not on there talking with a loose lip. Finally, we had another great soundbite. It was from none other than Paul Feinbaum. I mean, even though that Coach Saban, had that tough loss, he's been in a couple of close games this year. He had some bold statements to say on Stephen A's show this morning.
Never watched it before. This kid is something special. I got to admit it, Paul. I got to admit it. Talk to me about what you saw Saturday.
I saw a lot of troubling signs, Stephen A., and what I saw the most are a bad trajectory for Alabama. They're going the wrong direction. I mentioned it earlier about the penalties. This is an undisciplined team, Stephen A., and if I can say this to you without you going apoplectic, this is not a well-coached team.
No.
I know who the coach is.
There comes the apoplectic.
Stephen A. is getting apoplectic.
This is the 3rd time this year. He's been outmaneuvered, now coached by the other guy. Alabama could easily have lost 3 games. It took a last-second field goal against Texas. It took a stop against A&M, and we saw what happened Saturday. And this is the wrong way. And this team is missing on all cylinders. The offensive line is weak. The defensive secondary, where Nick Saban coaches, Stephen A., got burned repeatedly in that game. You saw that. And I don't know where it's going. It's not over. They still have a path. They still have Nick Saban. But you tell me.
Don't give them flowers at the end of that statement.
Right now?
Well, that's the thing.
Wow.
Everybody saw it. Nick Saban's been in a bunch of close games, and you take Bryce Young out of the one close game against A&M. I mean, they still have no Nick Saban. They still got 5 stars across the board. Paul Feinbaum, I'm sorry. That was some great media entertainment to get the people going, but it's still Roll Tide.
Are you stupid or something? Honestly, as stupid as stupid does.
Man, oh man. And but I got to give Feinbaum some credit. It takes a lot of guts to get on national TV and wear those big rubber prosthetic ears that he puts on. Wow.
Dumbo.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, our guest, the quarterback, so stick around. You're listening to Timberwolf Night in America live from Alzer's Barbecue in the heart of Cedar Park, right here on the Vype Live Network.
know the Alzer family. They've been involved in Cedar Park sports for years, just as Alzer's Barbecue has been involved in Cedar Park cuisine for years. It's one-of-a-kind, authentic Texas barbecue. Brisket, turkey, chicken, lamb, terrific sides and sauces. It's sheer succulence. That's Alzer's Barbecue, next to the CVS on Cypress Creek Road, just west of Old 183.
What is Vype Live? Vype Live is one of the largest and most respected broadcast and live stream networks in the state of Texas. Vype Live broadcasts any sport you can think of for youngsters of any age, from Pee Wee and Pop Warner to high school, club, college, semi-pro, and beyond. We also broadcast plenty of academic, fine arts, and community-related events as well, and now as partners with Flow Sports. Email us at info@vypemedia.com to find out more. Vype Live. We bring your teams to you.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. In fact, in just our area alone, the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation has granted more than $343,000 to local first responder heroes. That's why at Firehouse Subs they make their subs differently, because their subs can make a difference. And their family of restaurant owners and local crews are proud to continue to serve you hot, hearty, life-saving subs you crave every day. With Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go, it's never been easier to grab subs to go for you or your whole crew. Save time when you order online at firehousesubs.com or on their app, and they'll have your sub boxed, bagged, and ready to be picked up at our designated to-go areas. No line, no waiting. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
Army Ant Moving calls Cedar Park home. They are Cedar Park movers that you can count on. Army Ant Moving stands above the rest. Their reputation speaks for itself. They received the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 2 years. Their staff is professionally trained and certified, so you can be assured that your cherished household possessions are in good hands, whether you're leaving, arriving, or just relocating to the Cedar Park area. Call them today for a fast, free, and competitive moving quote at 800-497-5828.
A premier real estate brokerage in Central Texas, Mungia Real Estate's innovative buy-sell process results in their listings selling faster than the Austin average. Their attention to clients sets Mungia apart from other brokerages, with creative marketing strategies, savvy negotiation skills, and a commitment to hard work and excellent customer service. Whether it's residential, single-family, multifamily, condos, commercial, or vacant land, Mungia Real Estate knows the Austin market and connects buyers with sellers every day. And they do it with professionalism. Mungia Real Estate at 512-922-4267 or mungiarealestate.com. That's MUNGIA. At Sewell, building relationships, not selling cars and trucks, is our first priority, and it has been for more than a century. Customers for life. That is our aim. Generations of customers have bought their vehicles from our dealerships. The secret is in how we treat others and each other. Sewell is still the family-owned business it always has been. You never get the feeling that it's just business. A sense of family and the importance of long-term relationships always come through. You can experience our service in the Austin area at Sewell Land Rover and Jaguar at 13910-620, just a mile east of 183.
Reap Financial is proud to join you in support of Cedar Park football. Go Timberwolves! It's Chris Herline here, and teamwork is the key to success in football and in life. Lessons learned and memories made on the gridiron stay with us for a lifetime. And working with a trusted financial team can help grow and protect your assets today and continue your legacy for generations to come. Reap Financial, serving our Austin community for 15 years. Visit us at reapfinancial.com.
You should be in the band.
I'm telling you, had a lot of time listening when the offense gets in the fun zone.
Heard that song a lot in OU's Family Stadium this week, but not enough times, I guess.
God, that was great. Did they win? Did they beat Kansas? I don't
It's
think they
like
ended up
49-42.
Yeah, it was so close. Gave them something to show up for.
All right, welcome back. Episode 9, Timberwolf Night America 2022, live from Alzer's Barbecue here in Cedar Park. I'm Brad Cohn, joined by Josh Willard. Daniel Garrigan is our QA tonight here on the Vype Live Network. And now, Our first guest tonight, coaching our quarterbacks, Gilbert Pedraza. Welcome aboard, Gil.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And this is your first time on the show. I know you were on the staff last year, but you ended up not being ever on any show episodes, right?
Yes, I coached tight ends last year, so they came with the receivers and stuff like that. So I just didn't have a chance to. I didn't even know what was going on at the time. We got here so late and moved in so late. It's like kind of took it all in at once, So
well, what we like to do, especially the first time on with a coach, is to let the people listening who are fans know a little bit more about you. Tell us where you're from, where you're born, raised, went to high school, where you went to college, what positions you played, where you coached, and what basically got you to Cedar Park, the pathway.
Okay. Well, it started for me. I'm from Amarillo, Texas, and I played at Paladuro High School over there.
Oh yeah.
That's where I met Coach Quintero. First time way back then, and I was born in Oklahoma. Moved around a little bit, but we ended up in Amarillo, Texas. Graduated from there and got an opportunity to play college football at Panhandle State University in Oklahoma. So went there, graduated from there, and then I got my first high school coaching job at Texoma High School, little school in Oklahoma Panhandle, and we did good. Had always wanted to be a coach. Always been around guys who I respected, and they were coaches, and that made me want to get into the business and help young men. It's a great thing to do. So coach there. We were pretty good. Went to the semifinals. Great first coaching experience. Had to paint the fields and stuff like that.
Man.
Yeah. It was good though for a young coach.
At a small school, you got to do everything.
Cut the grass.
Turn on the press box electricity.
It was
clean
good.
the toilets.
Coach all levels. So it was good. It was a great experience, and then from there I had an opportunity to go to back to Amarillo to my alma mater and coach at Paladuro High School.
Hardwood High.
Yes, sir. And I coached there for 6 years. Coached offensive line. Got to work for the guy who coached me, Steve Parr, and really enjoyed. Learned a lot from coaching from those guys, and had a great experience. Learned how to coach kids and care and love. And that's some of the biggest things when it comes to coaching. And after he retired, I stayed there for a few more years, and I was looking for an opportunity outside Amarillo, just trying to get out of the area. So Coach Quintero and our defensive line coach, Coach Reed, they were out at Red Oak, and they had been there for a year, and they heard I was looking, and kind of talked to Coach Ross for me, and introduced me to Coach Ross. I went to a clinic, talked to him there. And we hit it off. I was really excited to get an opportunity to work for him. Learned so much from him, as an offensive coordinator now. I try to learn a ton from him. So, he gave me an opportunity to be there. That's where I met your brother. And what's it say?
Shout out Donut.
That's where I met him, and a lot of other great coaches on the staff. A lot of the great coaches. It was a good time. And from there, they gave me an opportunity. I went to Coach O-line over there with them. And then, we were there for a few years, and then Coach Q got the opportunity to come over here and brought me along. And, just totally grateful for the opportunity, and, love what I do, and, try to be good at it.
So what position did you play?
I played offensive line. I played center. Played center pretty much all through high school, and then even in my younger, Pee-wee days, and, played center in college. And
anchor of the line.
Yes, sir. So, then I, got to coach O-line for a long time, and then coach tight ends, and now coaching quarterbacks. So,
And I know what you're talking about. You're talking about part of the fulfillment of coaching is to mentor young men and see them grow, not just as players but as individuals. And I really get that. I didn't have any sons, but I coached a daughter of mine to a Texas State Club Soccer Championship.
It's awesome.
And it's not just her, but all those other girls. I mean, they still have reunions every 5 years that we go to and hug each other and cry. And it's just something when you do something at that level.
It's one of the great things about.
It's just amazing.
One of the great things about being here is to just see the community and the relationships that these kids have, and it means so much to them, and it's just so refreshing, to be around that, and it's one of the great things about being here. So.
Well, and even back into when I played here with my brother. It was we were starting to hit that stride where our players were getting recruited and our players are going to play at the next level, but that wasn't the case for everybody on the team. And so how do you feel coming to the Cedar Park team, mentoring these guys to feel comfortable in their role and just know that, like, if we collectively pull in the right direction, you can make a lot of things happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's, one of the few professions where you're still, helping young men become men and, grow up and, expect things like, out of themselves and have high standards and stuff like that. So I really got a lot of satisfaction, just coaching and giving that, back. Because that's something, coaches gave that to me at one point, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Did you have a particular coach that kind of got you into this? Or inspired you to be a coach?
Yes, sir. I got a couple. Really, two of probably the highest. And one of them is Steve Parr. The guy I played for in high school. He's the one who told me, he's like, you go to college and you get done and you get an opportunity to come back. I'll try to help you get a job. And that was really motivating for me. I first person in my family to graduate high school and college and, kind of make that way. So,
that's cool.
So, it was really motivating to me to, go get a degree and do the things I needed to do to get into coaching. And then the second one is actually Coach Reed's dad. He was my offensive line coach in high school. And, he was always there, helped me out, mentored me a lot, and, kind of just showed me the pathway to, try to be a good football player, try to be a good person, things like
That's
that.
awesome.
So, it was guys like that is so I'm trying to emulate, so.
What'd you get your degree in?
Physical education and sociology. So, yes, sir.
So you got to teach. So what class do you teach at Cedar Park High?
I teach government.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
How many classes do you got to teach? How many classes a day do you teach?
Oh, I got a pretty good deal. I got to teach one class a day, so it's not too bad.
Oh, that is a good deal.
Let's go. That's perfect.
Football the rest of the day. So.
What time of day is that class?
Second period, so it starts around 9:50 or something.
Breakfast
yeah.
already in.
Yeah.
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, go get some donuts and coffee.
After a couple football practices, go to class for for an hour and a half. So it's not bad at all.
If you look at your class of quarterbacks here this year, what would you say is their strength as a full position of three guys working at it?
I would say that these three guys right here, they're incredibly smart and they're incredibly resilient. I got, to be with them a lot last year. And I was actually the JV head coach last year, so I got to spend a whole lot of time with them. And, there was a lot of games that came down to the wire. And these guys, I would pull one out and put the other one in for a little bit. And, that one would make something happen. And they're all cheering for each other. They're all great friends. They're always playing pranks on each other. And it's enjoyable to be around them. I mean, I think they're just a family. And I think that's like one of the biggest strengths of them, they're happy for each other.
So I'll flip that over and say, what is the weakness that they need to improve the most?
Oh, we just always gotta work on growing up. We always gotta work on maturity and and making sure we know when it's time to focus. And
That
all
was
that
probably
stuff.
my biggest weakness at the same time.
Hey! You don't call me the Willard of Oz for nothing.
Well, thanks, Coach. If you'll hand the mic, let's see who we're going to go with.
Yes,
We're going to go with ARP first, I guess. Get Aiden ARP over here, and we'll talk to our starting QB.
Let's get QB1.
Got 4 Aidens on this team, and it looks like they all spell them differently. And ARP is A-Y-D-E-N. Have I got that right? A-Y-D-E-N. And you're junior?
Mm-hmm.
Junior. Yes. And so first year on the varsity, of course, and how's it been?
I think it's been pretty fun, and it's kind of a whole different experience going from varsity or from JV up to varsity. But I'm having a lot of fun this year, and just hope to secure a playoff spot coming up soon.
And I would guess your answer to this next question is what we heard so many quarterbacks say as they're going on to the next level. A guy from college to the NFL, a guy from high school to college. What's the biggest difference from a quarterback's perspective against a JV defense versus a varsity defense?
I'd say it's probably just the speed
Yep.
in general, and just like how fast the game moves. And I think I've been able to adjust to it pretty well. But there's always like those moments where like I wish I could do something a little bit quicker, and there's always something to improve on.
God, that's what's called a learning moment, unfortunately. And that's the thing. Some of them work out in your favor, some of them don't. But I'm going to ask the hard-hitting question.
Here it comes.
I am a former number 3 myself. Did anything inspire you to be number 3? Was it maybe me back in the day holding field goals and extra points? You can be honest. When did you move to Cedar Park? Are you from here?
I've been in Austin area for a while.
So maybe Brad, I might have a shot.
Maybe. Let's see, and let's see, how old are you now? 16?
Yeah, 16.
16, and this
Maybe
is
me?
22, so he would have been
Bro, if QB1 has my number
you would
now,
have been 4 when you last played.
I'm down to ride. Like, let's go.
I mean, yeah, I guess you gave me a little inspiration.
Okay, we're going to clip that up. I'm going to clip that up. I'm clipping
My
that.
diplomat. He came to all the games when he was 4.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Here's your numbers, Aiden, so far this year. They're not bad. 95 completions, 186 attempts, 7 picks, 6 touchdowns, 1,060 yards, a 5.7 yard per attempt, 7.0 last week.
Hey-o.
Yards per game, 151. Completion percentage, 51.1. And it looks like your best game so far, though, was the first one. I guess nobody had any film on you yet or something. 241 yards on 17 completions against Cedar Ridge. You've thrown for multiple touchdowns twice, 2 against Eastview, 2 against Hendrickson. What's your favorite moment so far on the field at Cedar Park?
I'd say the Eastview game was probably just overall a really fun game. We scored a lot of points that game, and everything was clicking, and so we got to focus and try and do that every week. But I think definitely Eastview. One of the touchdown to Carter was right over his head. It was like a one-handed snag.
Right before half.
Yeah, right before half.
Iconic.
That was a good play.
And I'd hesitate to say that you'd give credit in that Eastview win being one of the most fun wins and one of your biggest numbers passing to the fact that against Eastview we also ran for the most yards of any game this year at 168. Talk about how important it is. You got to set up the pass with the run. You got to run to set up the pass. Talk about that a little bit.
I think always setting a good run game is important just for the game in general because it kind of sets the tone. If you're able to run the ball, that's something you can kind of set back on if you need to, and then it also just sets up the pass game because we mesh with everything we do and just bringing the linebackers down, safeties down, so it's easier to take the top off on them.
One thing we noticed too is of the quarterbacks we've had in the last few years, you're one of the most solidly built that we have. And we don't mind at all. I don't know about the coaches. We don't mind at all. If you look, that guy's
my favorite.
All covered, and that guy's all covered, and there's a hole right there. We don't mind you tucking that ball and running over 5 people on the way to a 9-yard gain.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like to run, or?
Yeah, I like to run a lot, and obviously, I don't want to get hurt or anything, but
sure,
running's fun. And I like to go hit people because I actually used to play defense back in the day, so it's always fun to go hit people every once in a while.
Oh yeah, you do a good job of that. We love seeing you run. Who's your? I'm not going to ask that. That's a loaded question.
Well, don't ask a loaded one.
No,
I'm going to give you a softball right here.
Yeah.
Of the quarterback group that's here tonight, who's the best singer?
We'll go probably Padani.
Padani, all right.
Yeah.
Get
Go
something
ahead and
ready
get the pipes
when
ready.
you come over.
Get
We'll
the
do a
pipes
little
ready.
bit of acapella there.
We're going to need a little something.
Yeah, get a little something ready. All right. So, Aiden, as a junior, you got another season coming up, and of course, this is a season where you certainly want to go out and perform your best every night, win every night. But it's also a school for next year to be a senior leader and to see what you can do. You got so many of your weapons coming back next year on offense that we're already looking forward to it, even though we're still doing this season. I know you can't do that, but has the thought kind of crept in your head a little bit that, we're going to be lighting it up next year?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's as we thought about it a lot, just kind of like our class in general, since we have a lot of juniors on the team this year, and like you said, a lot of returning weapons, all our receivers, a couple of linemen, and I think having all our receivers back is going to be huge just because that chemistry is going to be, it's good this year, but I think even next year will be even better. Yeah,
those receivers were on here, and they were just dancing around. They were lighting it up. They were praising everything about the team and you and the quarterback situation. They were, you could tell they're ready to go. Very invigorating.
Yeah, we got a good squad coming back, and y'all are just getting a lot of good reps.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward for this team, what do you think offensively is the main focus that you guys need to focus on?
I think we just gotta just keep improving on certain things. And there's a couple things we always do better. Like for me, especially, there's a couple things that I did in the second half of the Hendrickson game that I do all game, and it's a whole difference. And I think as an offense, we're young, we can always improve. And I think also maturing as an offense we've grown a lot, but we can still always just improve on anything.
Yeah.
Aiden, you play baseball too. What position you play in baseball?
I played first.
Don't pitch at all as first baseman, hitter?
I pitched a little bit at the beginning of the year, but then kind of slowed down.
You're more of a pitcher, or more of a first baseman and hitter?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I came up to you at the baseball banquet and introduced myself to you just to kind of get that going. You know who called me last night when I was sitting around home? Lanny Williams. He was on his way home. He's on the athletic director staff at Killeen ISD now. He's on his way home from work up there, and he just thought about me, how I was going to say, call me. Well, I talked to him for probably 15 or 20 minutes. And he's wanting to come down to see some of the games this year and sit with me on the broadcast a little bit and watch you guys play. I think he thought that you guys had a lot coming back. He just had some stuff he had to do with his family, and I really regret losing him. But Tyler Forrest is going to be the coach, and I've known him for years. Good man, good communicator, I think, with teenagers. What do you think about that?
I think he's a really good coach. He's obviously the running backs coach, so I'm kind of around him a decent amount, and he's a really good coach. He has he says a lot of good things, and I guess we can, like I said, we can learn a lot from him, and he's just a really good coach overall, and I really like that he joined our staff, and we got a good baseball coach.
I mean, proven and hit dingers for Nebraska.
Oh yeah,
he went. I mean, and hit dingers.
He was Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week 3 times. I think his junior year there, led Nebraska in hitting.
Let's
his
go,
senior
Coach
year.
Forrest. Let's
Knows
go.
What he's doing. Knows what he's doing. What was I about to ask?
Shout out, Greg. Sabha.
A little distracted here, but Aiden, what is your favorite class in school right now as you're trying to keep the academics going?
I'd say, I don't know, probably math. I'm always been pretty good at math.
I'm surprised how often guys are given answers like math or biology or engineering or something. I'm really impressed with that.
Really happy with the trajectory of the program 10 years later.
Yeah,
not happening 10 years ago.
So, what's your least favorite class?
Probably chemistry for sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of the tough class. It's
we don't do that.
You got any ideas? You got another year here, but you got any ideas for where you want to go to school, what do you want to study, that sort of thing?
I think right now I'm kind of looking to hopefully play football somewhere in college, if it's D2 or D1 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd like to stay in the Texas area. It would be really cool to go play at Texas or Baylor or somewhere at A&M, anywhere in the state.
What kind of field of study?
I haven't really thought too much into that yet, but
don't have to.
Love it.
Don't have to. All right, our starter.
It's all feel.
Aiden Arp on the show with us. Thanks a lot, Aiden.
Thank
if
you
you'll give the headset over to your number 2 man, another Aiden. This one, Aiden. Aiden Long. He'll come in. Backup QB for the Timberwolf.
Only the other quarterback that came in and threw bombs. What's up, dude? Tell me about that touchdown against the Eastview.
Yeah, I guess that was one of our questions. What's your favorite moment? Well, that's got to be it. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was a pretty surreal moment. It was first rep at quarterback on varsity level.
Oh my gosh!
After those 2 carries, and then 3rd and long, just rolled out, and then saw Super down the field, made a play.
Man, that was something else. One of the stats I get each week, Coach probably sees this, is I have a big spreadsheet that ranks everybody who's ever thrown a pass for Cedar Park, and that's 24 seasons, so the list is 55, 60 people long, and both a single season for, Joe Smith, his 2001 season or whatever, and all his numbers, and then at the bottom, for those who've thrown for 500 yards more for their whole career, and it ranks them by NCAA passer rating. And for that week, with you being lifetime 1 for 1 for 57 yards and a touchdown, you're at the very top of that list by hundreds of rating points. I should have shipped that off to you. You can give them a picture of that or something. So obviously that's got to be your favorite moment. And the whole program for years has had this thing called Next Man Up. So you're sitting over there and Arp's playing, and you're a heartbeat away or a sprained ankle away from having to be out there and lead this next drive. How do you kind of corral all those thoughts and emotions in your head while you're on the sideline?
I kind of just prepare. It starts in practice each day of the week, and making sure I read the defense and know what the defense is going to do, and kind of mentally prepare myself for the game.
You always been a quarterback, or?
Yeah, I've been a quarterback. I also played safety for a little bit.
Safety? I was a safety.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Brad never let anybody get by. This dude is a stone wall.
I played safety back when there was 11 passes a game, so it was mainly run support, yeah.
Now, granted, that could be back in my day, too, at Cedar Park, back 10 years. Anywho, so, again, hard-hitting questions for this quarterback group. My class 10 years ago, the heat, lame. We started practicing out in the morning and getting up before the sunrise, before Ray Baker got awake. So, who is the last quarterback ready in the morning?
Blake Pedani.
No hesitation. He's in there singing. That's
You're
why.
just killing it right now, bro.
He's in there singing.
Can't wait.
Who's the first one out?
Me or Art.
You or Art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tied? Are y'all walking together?
No.
All right.
Now, are you a senior or are you underclassmen?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. So last year at CP, what are your plans for post Cedar Park High?
Either go to ACC or Blinn and then transfer to A&M for
All right.
nursing school.
Nursing school?
Yes.
That's interesting.
That's awesome.
I've got a daughter who's wanting to change what she's doing in life and become a nurse. So, yeah, interesting. They make pretty good money, too.
Mm-hmm.
And very fulfilling work.
Yeah.
Now, and what made you think about that? You got a mom or dad who's doing that? Or?
Not really, but I kind of just like to help people, and I'm very social, so I think it would be good for me.
That's great.
Speaking of social, you got anybody want to give a shout out to?
Shout out Cedar Park football. Shout out coaching staff, and shout out family.
Hey.
All right. Aiden Long, the Mad Bomber, thanks for joining us on the show. And now if you'll hand that headset over to quarterback number 3, Blake Pedani.
You got quite the repertoire coming up, man. He's the best singer. He's the last one out. He's my kind of guy.
Apparently.
So, Blake, first question. What's your favorite song?
Ooh. You know, I answered this with an interview the other day with my boy Carver, but I did say Bound 2 by Kanye West. That's always been one of my favorite songs.
Okay, find that one.
It's worth a Google. It's worth a Google.
So, in your estimation, who's the best dancer among the quarterbacks?
Ooh. I think it's definitely got to be Long. I think
Long
got some moves, yeah.
Okay, all right. Long's the best dancer. Now, Blake, we don't have you down with any stats yet, but I've called your name doing something this year. What have I done that for?
I was actually in the victory formation for Eastview,
Let's go.
so I took that knee. So
My
I got
man.
-4 rushing yards, but
No, you didn't, because I don't stat knee plays.
We don't do that.
perfect.
So it didn't come off.
We're not about that life.
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do it. So, have you always been a quarterback as well?
I've always been a quarterback, yes, sir.
And what class are you?
I'm a senior as well.
Senior. So, what's next?
Honestly, I hope I get into A&M. I've already applied there, and I'm hoping to major in either sports management or communications.
They got a good communication school. I know
Yes,
that.
sir.
So, your mom and dad at A&M, what makes you think about A&M?
Honestly, my family's a UT family, so...
Oh, so you're just pissing them off.
Let's go full heel. Go full heel. I love that.
But my brother's at UT right now, and I'm hoping I can get an A&M.
Mason?
Mason Pedani. Yes, sir.
Mason.
What's he studying there?
He's doing sports management, so I'll follow the steps as well if I did that.
Oh, good for you. And you all are not related at all to the former sportscaster on KVET and on the Horn, John Pedani, right?
Not at all.
Because I know he lived in Cedar Park, so I was thinking we saw some Pedani names on our
Wowzers.
roster. I guess not.
Maybe they just pop up everywhere. Who knows?
Right.
What's your favorite moment in this football program so far?
Ooh. Honestly, I would probably say one of the games freshman year. Obviously, I enjoyed that. Driving up to San Angelo, just on the bus ride with the team, felt like that was a good moment. And then, honestly, the Eastview game, I felt like, we all connected on that game. We had the energy, home game with the fans, so I just felt like it was a good atmosphere.
Great performance across the board by the team that night. Yeah, you're right, and that is extremely fulfilling when that sort of performance happens.
Well, so like everybody watches football now, and they get this great skycam view from the quarterback. So everybody from their couch can be a quarterback. What's the hardest thing about being a quarterback that the average fan doesn't know?
Honestly, I would say that within the helmet, you got different angles that other people look at. I mean, obviously, it's easier looking as a fan, but I mean, you got to look at the entire field, read the defenses, also trust your receivers and O-line at the same time. So it's basically a real team sport.
It's a mega trust fall.
How many footballs do you say you'd throw in a week?
Ooh, we probably throw a lot at practice in the morning. I mean, we got tags, routes on airs against defense. I would probably say over 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot of balls.
Amazing. All right, do you have anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out my parents, shout out my brother, and shout out my boy Jane Gallegos.
Jane Gallegos.
Bangers from 43.
All right. Thanks, Blake Pedani, and stick around because you're going to be part of the trivia game coming up on the other side of this break that we're about to go to. All right, we're going to take that short break now. When we return, our I've got the wrong thing going here, Josh. Excuse me. We return more nonstop honking of the Cedar Park football horn right here from Alzer's Barbecue on Timberwolf Night in America. This is a Vype Live Network.
You know the Alzer family. They've been involved in Cedar Park sports for years, just as Alzer's Barbecue has been involved in Cedar Park cuisine for years. It's one-of-a-kind, authentic Texas barbecue. Brisket, turkey, chicken, lamb, terrific sides and sauces. It's sheer succulence. That's Alzer's Barbecue, next to the CVS on Cypress Creek Road, just west of Old 183.
At Sewell, building relationships, not selling cars and trucks, is our first priority, and it has been for more than a century. Customers for life. That is our aim. Generations of customers have bought their vehicles from our dealerships. The secret is in how we treat others and each other. Sewell is still the family-owned business it always has been. You never get the feeling that it's just business. A sense of family and the importance of long-term relationships always come through. You can experience our service in the Austin area at Sewell Land Rover and Jaguar at 13910-620, just a mile east of 183.
As the #1 Ford volume dealer in Central Texas, Covert Ford has hundreds of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. They can even assist you with custom ordering your dream car, truck, or SUV. Since 1909, when you shop at Covert Ford, you're more than just a customer. You're part of the Covert Ford family. Visit covertford.com or stop in for a test drive to experience the Covert commitment to excellence.
#1 volume sales dealer in Austin based on total new retail sales. Ford Report 2021, Austin, Texas, Metro Market.
What is Vype Live? Vype Live is one of the largest and most respected broadcast and live stream networks in the state of Texas. Vype Live broadcasts any sport you can think of for youngsters of any age, from Pee Wee and Pop Warner to high school, club, college, semi-pro, and beyond. We also broadcast plenty of academic, fine arts, and community-related events as well, and now as partners with Flow Sports. Email us at info@vypemedia.com to find out more. Vype Live. We bring your teams to you.
Army Ant Moving calls Cedar Park home for movers that residents and businesses can rely on for outstanding moving expertise and trustworthy estimates. Army Ant Moving stands above the rest. Their reputation speaks for itself. They've received the Angie's List Superior Service Award for the last 2 years. Their movers are highly trained and experienced. So whether you need to move your household to a new home across town or an entire corporate office to a new location, your valuables are in knowledgeable and reliable hands with Army Ant Moving Company. Check them out at armyantmoving.com.
All right, welcome back. Episode 9 of Timberwolf Night in America for 2022, live from Alzer's Barbecue. I'm Brad Coney. Is Josh Willard. Daniel Garrigan is our QA tonight here on the Vype Network, bringing you all the stuff from right here in the heart of the 613. It's trivia time. We're going to split you guys, quarterbacks and coach, into two teams going against each other, trying to name mascots of high schools in the general Austin and Central Texas area. You get a point for everyone you get right. Coach will have you pick one of these guys to come with you. The other two will be the other team. So who do you want? Padani and Coach Pedraza together in the two.
Take the guy that's good on the mic. I get it.
All right. Team Aiden and Team Other. Pedraza. Padani.
Y'all might need to come over too. We're going to need the answer from the other team.
Yeah, you just kind of stand right in here in front of them. Okay.
Well, y'all take turns passing it on to your scribe, but it's an audio scribe.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to play a slightly different version of the mascot game, which is our most popular game tonight, though. We've played this each of the last couple of years. Fans of this show have often heard us pairing teams of players against each other to guess at the most popular team mascot names of Texas high school football programs all over the state. But tonight, something a little different than that. I'm going to give you the names of Central Texas area schools, and you all are going to try to give me that program's mascot.
Whoa.
Some of them you'll probably consider easy, like if I said Leander. So I'm going to try to steer away from the ones that might be a little too easy. You get a point for each one you get right. We'll do 7 innings back and forth. Plus, there's going to be bonus points available. I'll ask possibly 2 questions once we ascertain the school's mascot, whether you got it right or wrong. The questions will be, has Cedar Park ever played them? In football, of course. And if the correct answer to that one is yes, there'll be another question, have we ever beaten them? All right, so we'll go first, and we'll go with Team Pedraza as the visitors, so they will be at bat here in the top of the first. And here's the first one. Del Valle. What's the mascot for Del Valle High School down by the airport?
The Del Valle Cardinals.
Del Valle Cardinals is absolutely correct. 1-0 in the top of the first. Go to the bottom of the first. We go to Team Aiden. We give them a chance to answer this. Lehman, down there near Kyle, Lehman. Lehman. Who is Lehman? What's their mascot?
I'm going to go with the Lions.
Well, your instincts were good because it starts with an L and it's 2 syllables. But
good association.
It's the Lobos.
Oh.
Lobos. So 1-0 Team Pedraza back to the plate in the top of the second. And here comes yours, Lampasas. We have a habit of calling them
You got
Lampasas.
used to saying that.
Lampasas. What are they, guys? Oh, hand them the headset now.
They've got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay. What's a mascot for Lampasas? Right up 183 here, about 35 or 40 miles.
The Lampasas Lions.
Say it louder into there.
The Lampasas Lions.
That's the good. I shouldn't have ever had given the example of Leander. It's
right.
Put lions in all their heads. No, not the Lions. I'm going to go ahead and offer Lampasas now, since they missed it, to you guys, Team Aiden.
Oh wow, that's a steal opportunity. Into the mic.
Lampasas.
Lampasas Hawks.
Oh,
no, they're
effort.
They're the Badgers. Lampasas Badgers. And I forgot to give the bonus question to this team after they're scoring a run in the top of the first about the Del Valle Cardinals. So here are the bonus questions. Have we ever played Del Valle? Has Cedar Park ever played Del Valle? Your answer then?
No.
No, they have not. So you get a bonus point.
Wow.
There. You now got 2 runs in that first. 2-0 the score through 2 complete. And now it's back to you for your at-bat here in the top of the third. Taylor, out on 79 there. It's you guys. Taylor. About 79, east of Hutto, 10 or 12 miles.
Is it the Taylor Ducks?
It is the Taylor Ducks.
Oh, same question.
So the bonus question, have we ever played the Taylor Ducks?
You're talking about back in my day, boy.
I think we have played Taylor.
We have not. They've always been a few.
I got it right up
They've always
here,
been
bro.
at least
right
1 or 2
here.
classifications
Bro, you
below
give me
us.
$5.
And that's just something we don't
I'll give
do.
you all the answers.
All right, bottom of the third now for Team Aiden.
Which
McCallum.
Aiden? Oh, they're both Aiden.
Austin McCallum. Austin McCallum.
The Knights.
They are the Knights. Scored a run, and here's the bonus question. Have we ever played McCallum?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have. They scored another run.
Bro,
so
we
the
dominate
second
inner city Austin
bonus
schools.
question.
Come
Have
on.
we ever beaten McCallum?
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, we have, and they scored the maximum 3 runs to tie the game. After 3, it's tied at 3.
Big ups.
In fact, we've beaten them 3 times. All 3 times we played them.
That's all there is to it.
All right. Top of the fourth now, back to Team Pedraza.
What's the score check?
3-3.
Let's go, Greg.
All right, here we go. Lago Vista.
Oh.
Out 1431 from us, about 35 or 40 miles.
That's a good one.
Lago Vista. It's not the Lions.
We're going to cut that up.
Five seconds.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, what's your answer?
The Lago Vista Trojans.
It's the Vikings.
Very
Viking,
close.
I knew it.
It's the Vikings.
Yeah, some historical warrior race. Yeah. So still tied at 3, going to the bottom of the 4th. Team Aiden. How about Lockhart? Lockhart.
Leopards.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Lions.
No way.
Still tied at 3, top of the 5th.
That's messed up, Brad.
Team
That's messed up.
Pedraza. San Marcos.
Oh.
San Marcos.
The San Marcos Rattlers.
That is correct. The San Marcos Rattlers. Ding, 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 ding. Have we ever played San Marcos?
No, we have not.
Oh, we have. No bonus points there, but they take the 1-run lead. We won once and we lost once against them. So Team Aiden, bottom of the 5th, now trailing 4-3. Austin High.
Oh, my gosh. We had a field day against them my senior year.
Austin High.
What was it? Calvin? What was the... Colin Johnson? No, who was the receiver?
Oh, right, who went to Arizona. Yeah.
Jones.
I don't remember it.
Caleb
Jones.
Caleb Jones and Zay Jones. My gosh, nothing against Cedar Park.
Austin High, what do you got?
The Eagles.
Oh.
They're a weird one. Very unique. The Maroons.
Like, what the heck is a maroon? Like,
the Maroons.
I muted myself on accident. We don't need any of that chatter.
Okay. Top of the 6th now to Team Pedraza, leading by a run.
It's getting close.
Llano.
Oh.
Who's Llano? Out 71, about 40 miles or so, maybe a little more. What's the mascot for Llano High School?
I want to say it is...
Don't say it if it's
not
right.
What I thought. Not what I thought.
We're just trying. The Llano Owls.
God, it's kind of close.
Good guess. They're the Yellow Jackets.
I mean, that's not far
Yellow
off.
Jackets. Nothing in the top of the 6th for Team Pedraza. Bottom of the 6th now. And we go to Team Aiden. Wimberley.
Ooh.
State ranked
That's
Wimberley.
a good one.
They've won a couple state titles at 3A and 4A level. South of here ways. South of Dripping Springs, about 20 miles.
West of San Marcos, about 20.
Wimberley. What are they?
The Wombats.
They should have been, I guess.
Great word
The
association.
Wimberley Wombats. No, they're the Texans. The Wimberley. There we go.
Oh, we're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
It's the Willard of Oz for you.
Padani's butt pulled the line out.
Oh, clip that up.
Whatever that means. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, Team Aiden didn't score against Wimberley. They had
The
who do you have? It was
Wombats.
Texans, the Wombats, and it was the Texans. So we're going to the final inning now. Team Pedraza at the plate, leading by 1, 4-3. And let me find one of these that looks like the hardest since you're ahead.
Give him a good one. Give him a thinker.
All right, Granger.
Oh, that was actually the kicker that I held his balls for my senior year. Went on to kick at Rice. I held Granger's balls.
Granger, out by Lake Granger, northeast of Georgetown, several miles. The first high school game I broadcast was their state championship win, Class 2A, from Abilene in 1997. They had a defensive back, Brandon Everidge, who ended up starting for Oklahoma for 4 years. I think that's why they won the state title.
Whoa. And
Granger.
and guess what? They still lost 49-0 this year.
Hey! What do you got with Granger?
Try the Granger Cougars.
Same family. The Granger Lions.
Oh, you gave him one too, Brad? You just hate to see it.
Okay, a chance to tie, and with bonus questions, a chance to win. Come from behind, win in the bottom of the last inning. So here we go.
Saying there's a
I'm
chance.
not going to give him an easy one. Let me look at the list here. Okay, how about this one? Burn It. Right up the road here. 29. Burn It. Harp says they're green, and that's correct.
Great color association.
Their colors are green, but what is their mascot?
Just up, is that 183?
Out 29.
29. Ooh, what a hoot.
West of Georgetown, maybe 30 miles on 29, 35 miles.
Make sure you stop at Liberty Hill on the way.
Yeah, you will. All right, what do you got?
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs is correct. They tie the game. Bulldogs
Don't
is
play
correct.
the victory music yet.
So
Don't
with
play
a
the victory music
with
yet.
a runner on base.
This is
a
electric.
runner on base. Here is the bonus question that could win it or force extra innings. Have we ever played Burn It? No.
Oh, no.
Struck out with a runner at second. All right, we got to go to extra innings. All right, here we go now at Team Pedraza. Hayes.
Oof.
Way down south, Hayes. We played in their stadium last year in the first round of the playoffs. Buda, Johnson, and Hayes, same ISD, and share the same home stadium.
Can I ask another question on this or no, Brad?
What do you mean?
What year?
What year what?
What Hayes are we talking about?
Hayes. Oh, I got you. We'll go with their original since nobody goes.
I love
with
this.
the
No
change.
PC here,
They
baby.
changed their
We're going
name.
the OG Hayes.
Oh, the original Hayes.
I love this.
I didn't think about that. I don't pay attention to the
I don't
name
either,
changes.
Brad. I don't either, but I'm telling you, for the listeners.
Actually, we'll give you either one. They changed it a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, but for a million years they were this other name.
A great name.
If you get either of them, we'll give it to you. What do you got?
Hayes Eagles.
Well, they used to be the Hayes Rebels, and they're now the Hayes Hawks.
Yeah. It's kind of not politically correct. It's not politically correct.
All right, here is...
But the Rebels is what I know them as.
Here we are, the bottom of the eighth.
Oh.
A run could win it for
Let's go
Jim
8 and
Aiden.
squared.
Cedar Creek.
They're just
Cedar Creek.
That's over
on the way to Bastrop. You take a right into the woods.
You hit the railroad tracks, you gone too far.
I know they got a nice stadium. We played there a couple times. Playoff games.
Cedar Creek Cougars.
Oh, close. Eagles.
The Eagles. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up, folks.
All right, here we go. The next one for Team Pedraza. Florence.
Oh,
out there.
This is brutal.
Between here and Copper's Cove in the middle of nowhere. Florence. Flamingos.
Just past the pawn shop, past the tattoo parlor, you're there.
Florence Bears.
No, I always refer to them as the Fighting Hendersons, Florence Henderson joke. They're the Buffaloes. Buffaloes. Last chance. We'll have to call it a tie if these guys can't pull it out in the bottom of the ninth here. We're tied at 4. Giddings. We might have driven through Giddings on the way to College Station if you took that route. Giddings. For years, they had a good state-ranked team, and they kind of fallen on hard times lately. Chance to win it or end it in a tie.
God, such a quarterback thing to end in a tie.
All right, what do you got?
Dig deep.
The Gidding Gators.
Oh, that's
it's a word association. I like that. I love the word association.
Buffaloes.
Oh my gosh!
2 Buffaloes in a row to end it in a tie, 4-4. Good game though, well played. Good job by everybody. All right. Now, also this season, a new trivia game we're going to play each Tuesday night here. This is called Steal Josh's Ice Cream. We're going to pit Josh against one of our guests. You guys can pick which one it's going to be. And they'll sit where Gilbert is sitting right now. And we're going to pit them together, and I'm going to ask each of them 3 different trivia questions that are all about sports in general. And because of his extra years of acquired wisdom, Josh's questions will be a wee bit more difficult.
Sit right here in the hot seat.
So whichever side gets the most correct answers gets a free ice cream treat, and on me, in other words, from the Alzer's Ice Cream Freezer.
That's the one I'm going for. I'm going for that Snickers, Steve Groves. I'm going for the Snickers.
If it's a tie, Josh wins because of his heightened degree of difficulty, and those are the house rules. Okay, questions.
So who do we got in the hot seat?
We got Aiden Long.
Oh,
I guess I should be more specific.
Home run shot guy.
Home run shot guy.
Okay, cool.
Spent some time a week as our highest rated ever NCAA passer. All right. 3 general sports questions for Aiden Long. In Major League Baseball, the designated hitter rule only exists in which league?
The MLB.
Well, Major League Baseball is the MLB.
Oh, wait.
Right,
Oh,
right.
In which league?
Oh. The NL.
Incorrect. American League. No points there.
You hear that? That's the door opening.
All right. John. In volleyball, how many times is one side allowed to hit the ball on one side of the exchange?
Oh, that's my question?
Oh.
Yeah, they're all yours.
Say that again?
In volleyball.
I love it.
How many times is one side allowed
beat me at this game
to hit the ball in one exchange?
Oh, 3 times.
I couldn't
3
sleep.
times
I
is
couldn't
correct.
sleep.
3 times is correct. All right, he's got a point. Last one, question number 3. In soccer, has Austin's Major League Soccer team ever lost a playoff game?
No.
No, they have not. They won one Sunday, and that was their first.
And they were down 2-0.
Oh, man.
And they came back. The boys.
Austin FC, undefeated all time in MLS playoff games. Okay, so Aiden Long gets 2 points. Josh has to get 2 to win. He might get 3 to really rub his dirt in it. He could only get 1, and Long gets the free ice cream. So here they are. Questions for Josh. On the NFL's all-time leading rushers list, the Cowboys' Emmitt Smith sits at the top. Are there any other Cowboys in the top 10?
It's not Herschel.
Not Calvin Hill.
It's definitely not Zeke. Sorry, that was a shot. Sorry. That has to be Tony Dorsett, and he cracks the top 10.
It is Tony Dorsett. He is 10th. Yeah. All right. A point. Now, the next point actually wins it since a push is a win for Josh. Number 2. Oh, this is a quarterback question. These guys would get this. When clocking the ball, there's a specific requirement for what the quarterback has to do, or there is a penalty. For example, what's the penalty for fumbling the snap and then picking it up and spiking it?
Intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. That happened in an NFL game this week.
Like, why? How do people mess that up?
Josh, wins the ice cream. Let's see if he can get a sweep here.
Give me something.
All right, Earl Campbell led the NFL in rushing his first 3 years in the league. No one has done that since. Had anyone done it before?
This was Earl Campbell?
Earl Campbell. The Tyler Road.
Shout out Texas Longhorns. Yes, Jim Brown.
Yes, Jim Brown, his first 3 years. And then he didn't. Somebody else won. And then he won like the next 5 years. So there's 8 of his 9 years he was in the league. He led the league in rushing.
No SpongeBob. Straight to ESPN. Stump the Schwab. That's all I was
Straight to Hollywood.
On.
He started
straight to ESPN.
Movies.
I had 2 older brothers. Never got the remote.
Yeah, Campbell was a senior when I was a freshman at Texas. And I had kind of forgotten that he's the greatest there ever was until I saw some film of him about a month ago, and I thought, oh, yeah, I had forgotten this. He is head and shoulders above anybody else who's come since.
I mean, put his film up against Adrian Peterson. Shout out.
And Peterson's good. Campbell's clearly better.
It's true.
You know, he ended the careers of 4 NFL players who tried to tackle him. Ain't nobody done that.
Wow,
I saw in person at the Astrodome that happened one time. The Rams had a good middle linebacker named Isaiah Robinson. He was all pro. He was probably headed the Hall of Fame. He'd lead the league in tackles. Isaiah Robinson, and there on the goal line, they give it to Campbell. They're about the 3 or 4 yard line, and he goes right through the middle and slams straight into Isaiah Robinson. Lifts him off his feet. All kinds of equipment goes flying. He falls backward in the end zone on his back, and his head bounces 3 times. And that was the last play Isaiah Robinson ever took in the NFL.
Concussion protocol.
Knocked him out of the league. Earl Campbell was absolutely amazing. All right, as usual, this is a preview of Glenn. Coach, if you come and sit in the seat here, I'm going to cede much of this to Coach, but first a look at Glenn's record. They're 5-2 overall, 3-1 in district. I like our comparative scores. Josh alluded to that earlier. They beat Hendrickson by 10. We beat them by 17. They beat Eastview by 10. We beat them by 42. Also, both of those teams scored a lot more points on Glenn than they did on our defense. College Station scored just 10 points on our defense. They scored 27 on Glenn, but the real challenge is going to be pushing around a very stout Glenn defense, which leads the district in points allowed at just 113. On offense, they got a 1,000-yard rusher and sophomore Duwan Duger, and the team runs the ball for 323 yards per game. This will be the first ever football game between Cedar Park and Glenn. Coach, what are we going to see from the Glenn defense that we got to be able to respond to?
We got to be able to respond to what they have in the box. We got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. I believe the football always starts there. We got to be able to, be able to run the football, and be able to win our one-on-one matchups, things like that. And if we take care of the box and play well down there, and we execute as an offense, then we will. We'll have a good night. We'll have a good night.
And so, I mean, most of the defenses in this area go back to Cedar Park with the Coach Willis era, but these defenses traditionally do a 3-4. Is that kind of the same front?
Yes, sir. They got a 3-4 defense. A lot of cover 2, cover 2 in the secondary, some cover 3, and
So hopefully some opportunities for our boys
yes,
to throw
sir.
around the yard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, block well, keep turnovers to a minimum.
The good thing is, we had a good game last week running the football. So
yeah.
Hopefully we can just transfer that over and just keep on progressing and growing there, and that'll really help everything. That's always blocking and tackling. That's that's football.
Yep. That's right. All right. Last words, Josh, before we close it down and get out of here?
No, I mean, Cedar Park coming off of that long road trip, getting a must-need dub. The season, towards the tail end, this is an opportunity for Cedar Park to, put everything that they learned from that non-district and those tough district games to practice. And so just really excited to see the Cedar Park team offensively find ways to put together long, sustained drives to give this black freaking rain a breath, because these guys have been playing their hearts out. So the black rain's ready to show up, and that 1,000-yard rusher that's a sophomore, we'll zero that hero, no worries. So it's just going to be an opportunity for this offense to put sustained drives together, take shots, and just trust the plan. I mean, this is going to be a good turning point for this Cedar Park offense. And again, going back to Bible, I mean,
the old home.
Oh, that's the old home. Had my highlight of my life there, 70-yard touchdown as like a second grader. That was back on the AstroTurf days when they had the AstroTurf. But again, this Cedar Park team, it's all about when you get hot. Learned a lot through those non-district games and those tough district games, and came out of that with no injuries. So this team is still together, ready to rock. We're going to show up Friday night.
And a win in this game could really be crucial. If they can knock this one out, they set themselves up where one win in the last two, we are in the playoffs.
That's Showtime money. That's gold ball season.
There we go. Looking for a 15th straight playoff appearance. Need to win 2 of the last 3. All right, once again, the Booster Club sponsors Covert Ford, Alzer's Barbecue, Sewell Land Rover and Jaguar, Mission of Hope, Life Family, Reap Financial, TJ Lewis Real Estate, Raising Cane's, Kathy Tam Photography, Mungia Real Estate, ROI Sport Performance and Physical Therapy, Family Emergency Room at Lakeline, One Stop, Rudy's Army Ant, Majori's, Firehouse Subs, and HEB. And be sure to visit our new sponsor, Family Emergency Room at Lakeline 24/7 to see a board-certified emergency physician for affordable care of all your minor and major emergencies with upfront pricing, no surprise bills, and they're giving free physicals for Cedar Park high school and middle school athletes right now. That's it, our 9th episode of Timberwolf Night in America for 2022. Friday night, the T-Wolves are just up Baghdad Road, the Battle of Baghdad at Bible Stadium as they take on the Glen Grizzlies for the first time. If you can't be at the stadium, watch us on the Vype Network. Thanks to our guests tonight, Gilbert Pedraza, Aiden Arp, Aiden Long, Blake Padani. Tune in next week when Josh and I will host a special teams. For our QA, Daniel Garrigan.
Shout out to the special team. So excited to have them. King of Lace is out. Come on.
And for my own personal Chris Collinsworth here, Josh Willard. This is Brad Cohn signing off. You've been listening to Timberwolf Night in America on the